Heroes, believe me, you can't go wrong if your kids choose Stan the Man Musial. Of course, assuming they know who he is. They all know the stars of today, Jose Canseco, Darryl Strawberry, Eric Davis, but Stan the Man is one player who helped pave the way for the others. And this weekend, Stan the Man was in town for a baseball card show at the Seattle Center.
That's when I was younger, a lot younger. We were all younger. Come on, there you go.
Stan the Man Musial. At the age of 71, he's as loved now as he was during his heyday with the St. Louis Cardinals back in the 40s, 50s, and early 60s. Always a gentleman, Stan the Man left all the flash and flair to the others like Mickey Mantle or Ted Williams. So perhaps his image has faded just a bit with the current generation. Stan the Man doesn't agree.
Thank you.
Card show hobby and their interest in baseball, why, I think that it's made an interest, whereas they're interested in the older ball players, and they know what we did, what we accomplished, what our records were, and they're a great part of baseball.
They come in droves, young and old, mostly old, but the young ones who are here collect his memorabilia, and they're just as enthused about meeting a Hall of Famer as their elders, even if they don't know who he is. Do you know who Stan Musial is?
No.
Why do you want his autograph?
Because I've heard of him and I have all his baseball cards.
How about you?
Well, I've heard of him before, and I know he's a Hall of Famer, and he's a really neat guy.
What are you going to do with all these autographs?
Well, as I said before, give them to my mom, one for me, one for my mom, and 3 for my friends.
You say you know something about Stan Musial. Tell me something about him.
He plays first base, number 6, made the All-Stars 6 years in a row.
For those who don't know, Stan the Man had a classic peekaboo hitting style that earned him 3 MVP titles, a few batting crowns, more than 3,000 hits, 3 World Series rings, and his proudest moment, being elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Musial says he's in favor of the high salaries today's players command, but if he were playing today, how much money would Stan the Man be worth?
Well, I talked about that one time to Gene Autry, and he said about $1 million a month.
Wow. $12 million a year, huh? You'd take that, wouldn't you?
Well, it'd be great, but, you know, everything's relative. You know, back in our days, when I was in Ted Williams and I and DiMaggio were commanding 100,000 or thereabouts. In those days, you know, everybody thought it was a lot of money.
I'll tell you what, if there is such a thing, he is a true hero. Most he ever made in one season, $100,000. And yes, folks, he does charge $20 per autograph, something players didn't do in his era. But hey, times have changed, right?
Times have changed. He said it himself.